Welcome to the next film called An Interview With here at Homersfield Lake, and on this programme I'm very pleased to be able to introduce 4 times world course angling champion Bob Nudd MBE. So Bob, welcome to Homersfield Lake.
So pleased to be here. I fished a couple of matches here, so I know what the fishing's like. So when you asked me, I was so excited about coming up here.
That's excellent. As with this new series that we're doing, Bob, I want to get to know the person behind the rod. So you've got years and years of experience. There's going to be so many questions. God knows how long this is going to last, this interview. But I'm going to start with a very simple one. Have you always been a competitive person?
Have I? Yeah, I think so. When I was in the Army Cadets. I don't know if anybody does that now. And I think that teaches you a lot. Shooting, swimming, running, football. We didn't do fishing in that, but you did compete all the time, and I think that gave me a really good grounding. Had polished boots and what to do. I loved it.
And so, as a young Bob Nudd, where did your fishing start? How old were you?
Oh yeah, I'm very young. Now we're going back a few years, so when I was young, there wasn't, all there was cricket, football or fishing. There was nothing else. There wasn't computers or anything. So, and my sisters, I've got 3 sisters, me, mum and dad always worked hard. And so my sisters used to look after me. They're 2 elder sisters, and they used to take me. I used to go to this lovely little lake near Little Waltham in Essex. I used to sneak in under the barbed wire. It was private. And my first fish was small roach. I was only about 8 or 9 years old. Didn't have a rod. Had a. It must have been hazel, yeah, because they're pretty straight. And then I just bought some line and a hook from the tackle shop, made a float. And I caught a beautiful little roach on. It was just on flour and water like a paste, and sort of that addicted me to see the float bobbing.
And where did
8 or 9 years old, I should think.
Where did your fishing take you after that? How did you get into what you're extremely well known for? Obviously, 4 times world course angling champion, which we'll get into later. But where did you go fishing? Where did you start?
I think I was lucky because I did a little bit of fishing. I worked for an electronic company called Marconi's, and they had a fishing club. So when I joined their club when I was about 21. And I didn't really know any. I knew absolutely nothing. You see these youngsters now, they've got everything. I was hopeless. And I just sort of learned by watching other people. I didn't really win my first big open until I was 26. And I had a young family, 3 daughters, and I had to work. I was working quite hard. I think I was very fortunate. Sometimes life leads you that way, doesn't it? You have a bit of good fortune that guides you one way or the other, and I think I was just lucky.
But when did you start competing match fishing then?
I was about 21 at Marconi's. That was club matches, but within 2 years I was club champion, and I didn't really know anything at the start, so I learned pretty quickly. And then I won my first big open, as I say, when I was 26, and then I started to go to Ireland. And that's really what got me into because you have to be selected to fish for England. That's the hard part, getting a manager to select you and getting notice. And that was because I'd got some big catches in Ireland.
And back then, who were the big names that you looked up to?
Well, there was several, but Kevin Ashurst was probably one of the biggest. Ian Heaps. There's some really good anglers. I weren't in the early days, not of the Billy Lane days, because apparently he was a fabulous angler. And there's not many that was before my time, but he was. But it's just, yeah. But I think really I've always tried to learn off of other people, and I just love catching fish. Some people, some match anglers don't really enjoy catching fish. They only like fishing. But I love catching fish, and I think that then you work things out.
And your first World Championship, what year was that?
That was in 1990. That was in Mondeo, and that was a former Yugoslavia. It's all been split up now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It was on a river called the River Drave, a big, powerful river. But I'd been brought up on the River Bann in Ireland, fishing matches there, and that was a big, powerful river where you have to fish big floats, overshot it and creep it through. And myself and Gavin Ashurst were really good, and as it happens, we were the best in practice, and then I won it and he was second. And there's 133 competitors in the World Championship, and I won it and he was second, and we've been brought up creeping these big 10-gram floats, creeping them through, and catching. It was very difficult fishing.
And what was the prize money back then?
There wasn't any, but I was lucky. I had a good manager, Terry Freeman. Unfortunately, he's sadly passed away. And I was always on a win bonus, so I got win bonus. But it wasn't £6,000, but it was quite a bit of money. Yeah, it wasn't bad back then. I was probably very happy with it anyway.
And number 2, number 3, number 4, what years did they come along?
Well, and the following year, 1991, was in Hungary. That was on a rowing course. That was all pole fishing again. And can you believe I won it and Kevin Ashurst was second? Once again, another real big match. And we both won our sections, so there's 33 anglers in a section, and we both won our sections. We both won our sections on each day, but I beat him. And this is what's important about fishing. I beat him when they added our weights together by 3 ounces.
Wow.
Difference between a first and a second. That's true, nobody remembers a second. It's immaterial, isn't it? Who comes second? Winning. I don't know how I done it. So we'd got 2 years then where I was first, he was second. And we walked into this is one of those moments when sort of the hairs on the back of your neck sort of stand up, we walked into this restaurant. Everybody's eating at the end of the second day, and everybody's a hell of a lot of noise. Everybody's eating dinner, and suddenly it went deathly quiet as we walked in together because we'd been phoning home, and everybody stood up and clapped. 2 English anglers, first and second, 2 years running. And then the following year, then I won 1994, I won in England, Home Pier Point, massive 20-odd thousand people.
Wow.
That was...
And your last one?
Was in Spain, 1999, and that was carp fishing. Wild carp though, on another big powerful river going down to a power station. Beautiful fishing. So I am lucky.
And obviously you're now classed as a professional angler.
Sort of, I suppose. Well, I haven't had a proper job for 40 years. No, not a proper job. I am now. I've got a job with Facebook. I'm a digital creator.
Yeah, we'll get into that later, because I've watched that and I've seen that and everything else. So since the obviously 1999 onwards, then for the next 30 years, you've just been on the match scene all the time?
Mostly match scene. I mean, I've written 2 books, I've made loads of videos. I always know that you have to work with the media. So important to work with the media. Angling Times, News of the World, and Angler's Mail. I've worked with all of those. So I've managed to pick up money from... You never get rich, you're not a Lewis Hamilton.
No.
But
Yeah.
It's all right. The quality of life, I think that's important, don't you? One life, quality of life, so important.
And so where's your favourite places to fish? Does Bob Nudd go fishing for pleasure without match fishing?
I do, but I'm usually always an ulterior motive. I love catching fish, but usually I'm trying to work out something, how the fish are feeding, what to feed them, what to do. So I do go, but I'm always in my mind practicing to try and get perfection, which you never get because every day changes. So I'm always working, and I love trying to work things out. It's not easy.
How many days a week do you think you go fishing?
Well, in the summer, 4 or 5 matches a week.
Okay.
4 or 5 matches a week in the summer, mainly on the Broad system. I love Norfolk Broads because it's wild, powerful river. The Yare, the Thurn, the Bure. They have big matches too, 70, 80 anglers.
Obviously, we first met a few years ago when Janette, who used to be one of the managers at Angling Direct, we did a charity match here, and she told me Bob Nudd's coming, and I'm going to be really honest, Bob, I'd heard the name but didn't really know what you'd achieved or what you did.
No.
You came along, soon realised why everybody likes you, everybody follows you and everything else. So what was your first impression when you came here?
I loved it. We don't get enough invites, that's the trouble. No, I loved it. I drew not far from here, and I had a lovely day. I caught I think I caught about 93 pounds. Had a bad start, but it was beautiful. Loads of fish. I had some lovely big roach, 1 or 2 big hybrids feeding casters. I really enjoyed it. So every time, I've never missed the opportunity whenever you've had a match. And Janette's invited me, I've always been here. Lovely, love the fishery. Beautiful.
Well, it's always a pleasure having you here, and I think it's correct in saying that after all your years of fishing, the other year you had your PB as well.
Yes, here definitely. Yeah. I've had, I think I've had 4 roach, and they're all about £2.6 each. Lots of pound roach. I mean, it's fabulous fishing. I mean, nowhere else you get roach fishing like that. We did Angling Times, I think, said it was the best roach water in the country, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yeah. And as I've said on other programmes, it's really nice to hear other people say how good the water is. You know, being an owner, every owner's going to tell you how good their lake is. It's much better to hear other people tell me or tell others how nice the water is here. So that's always a nice thing. So how have you seen the match fishing scene change over the years?
Oh, well, now it's commercial. It's for younger anglers now. It's more commercial, carp, overstock fishery, big prize money. Some of them sort of £60,000, £50,000. So that seems to be the biggest. I think the normal river fishing is they're bigger matches, but not as many. So that's probably, and is it an older generation that fish those matches? Probably. I think youngsters now tend to they just catch loads of carp. I like a mixture. I do like, but I wouldn't do commercial fishing all the time. I do like a river that moves sometimes, or a wild lake like this, which is different, isn't it? This is not a commercial fishery. You know, this is not overstocked. It's got lovely stocks of roach, but it's not. You know, it's just a lovely wild lake, isn't it? 36 acres, 38 acres?
35.
Oh,
yeah, 35. Yeah, no. And so what's your favourite species?
Roach. I love roach. You know why I love roach? Because they're a shoal fish. So for a match angler, a shoal fish is perfect, where you want all action, where you work out the feeding, work out where they're coming in the water, where they're feeding at, how to present the bait properly to get perfection. So I love roach fishing. Because it's constant. Quite often you're catching 200 or 300 fish, and people say 300 fish, 1 every 2 minutes. Yeah, well, 1 every minute. Yeah.
Now, I've seen when you're here fishing, one story I always tell everybody is that it's a charity match. My wife Lara makes cakes and coffees and teas, and I can always remember us coming round the first time and Lara saying, "Would you like a coffee?" And you went, "No, I'm too busy fishing." And we went, "Whoa, this is you should be enjoying yourself."
I'm sorry. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
You know, so that's the one first image I'll always remember of you. Yeah. It's to relax and enjoy it and have a nice time, which I think everyone does when they come here.
You do, but you know, if you're a match angler, that you are a match angler to heart, and you do not deviate. In the summer, you might have to have a cold drink, but you do not pour out a cup of tea or a cup of coffee when you're fishing.
And that's why I asked the first question, are you a competitive person? Because it certainly looked like it.
Oh yeah, you just do not stop, because so many times, I remember this big festival in Ireland once. It was a 3-day festival, there was 6,000 first prize, over 3 days, all right, and I lost it by 2 ounces. Oh, when you've added everybody's weight, I was second by 3 ounces, so sometimes it's so close, you just don't know.
Now, you mentioned it earlier, but obviously you love Facebook, or you love social media.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about that. How have you got into that?
Well, I love Facebook. I get a buzz from Facebook because you communicate with the whole of the world. So I've got friends in Australia, the same with you have, everywhere, Thailand, and you, if you do a live feed, say, and then they're talking to you, or from Australia, you're chatting away, and they're chatting back to you. It's fabulous. Live feed on Facebook's fabulous. Don't earn too much money on that though, so don't do a lot of it. But yeah, Facebook, I love it. Yeah, I love it. I'm classed as a digital creator now, so that's the first job I've had for ages, and you don't earn big bucks, but I really get a buzz out of posting, communicating to people. So I love Facebook. I'll tell you why I love Facebook as well. I don't know if you find it. I know what my daughters get up to. You know where they are, whether they've been out drinking or something. So you keep an eye on your family as well.
In this modern day of people starting to fish, and it's so much easier to access fishing and do everything so quickly now, what would you give a young new angler? What's a bit of advice you'd like to give them?
That's a tough one, that, because it's quite expensive, isn't it? But I think you mustn't do it for money. You know, that's tough to get a living out of it. You've got to be really good. But I think you've really just got to enjoy what you're doing. Even though I'm competitive, I still love every minute. I'll get excited setting up the gear, get excited fishing. Can't wait to start fishing, see if I can get a bite. And yeah, I think, but if you want to be successful, it's like anything, doesn't come easy. You've got to put a lot of work. If you want to be really good, you've got to work really well with the media, whatever, newspapers, social media. A good sponsor's important. I had Browning for many years. They were really lovely people. German company, but they were lovely people, really looked after me. Got a good salary from them, so I did have a job, really. So I was sponsored with a salary, and that always helps, doesn't it, get you through?
Definitely, without a doubt. So where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Don't dare ask me that. I don't know. I won more matches, open matches, on the broad system than anybody this year. I think I won 6. You know, it's hard when you're talking about 60, 70, 80 people festivals, so I hope I can repeat that this year. I doubt it, but I don't know. I will still be fishing. I will still keep fishing. And as we mentioned, Facebook, I love working with Facebook and communicating with everybody. You really get a good buzz from it. Enjoy it.
Do you still go to conferences or speeches and talks?
No, I'm now sponsored. I'm now sponsored by Fox Matrix, by Preston Innovations, Vandenine, Sonu Baits, DT Floats.
So keep you busy.
So I don't have to pay anything for equipment. I get lots of stuff and do. But the company I work for, Rather Outdoors, they're like a management company. So they don't do any shows at all. Their policies, no shows, nothing like that.
Wow. Okay.
It means I don't have to go anywhere. It's good. I don't mind that. But I suppose I didn't mind the big shows. Did you ever go to the NEC shows?
No.
They were fabulous, you know, big numbers. And yeah. I did enjoy those. Really, really good.
So when Bob Nudd's not fishing, what's he doing?
Right. I love cricket. Love watching cricket, and I would sit for 5 days watching the Test match. And if it's the middle of the night, and if they're in Australia at 2 o'clock, I will be up watching it, if I'm not going fishing the next day. And I like Formula 1 as well, so sport, and I love golf. But I like watching it. I'm no good at playing golf, so I love watching sport, and I love to see British, English, anybody doing well. Then I'm right behind, like McIlroy on the golf, Hamilton on the F1, so I'm right. Are you the same?
Yes.
I love to see
Yes. I like watching sport. Yeah.
English or British people. I'm there. I'm rooting for them. Tennis as well. My wife likes watching tennis.
So in your opinion, where do you think Homersfield Lake sits as a roach water for you and for the other people that you've seen here?
Oh, Homersfield is the best roach water I've ever fished. I know I've fished in Ireland, I've fished everywhere, but for the quality, I don't know how many pound roach I've caught here, but I love it. And as soon as there's an invite, and I thought, because we haven't been here this year, have we? It was flooded, wasn't it? All the water levels is up, but it's a lovely. This is a beautiful lake to come and fish. But we're fishing a match, aren't we? And I'm sorry, yeah, I don't have cakes and I don't drink tea. Unless you have an hour's break and everybody has to stop, then I have to stop. But no, wonderful water.
Well, all I can say, Bob, it's been a real pleasure just getting to know you, the man behind the rods, having you here fish, and you will be back for a match one day soon.
Yeah,
so I look forward to seeing you.
Lovely, and I can't wait for the invite. And of course the bacon rolls and the tea when we get here, that's good.
No, thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure having you here. Thank
lovely,
you.
Thanks for the invite. Oh, it's just lovely fishing. Look at him. Little Bobby Roach. They're lovely.